You, My Pillow, and COVID-19. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. Today, I wanted to bring up a special example that's been in the news lately. So if you're watching this anytime recent, you might be familiar with it. If you're not, go and check out what was happening in March, late March, early April of 2020 when we're in the midst of COVID-19 and Donald Trump, the current president, had Mike Lindell, who, if you're not familiar with Mike Lindell, if you saw his picture, you just might find him familiar because he had a whole lot of commercials on the air. Oh, I don't know. I now I'm going to look stupid. I think it was around 10 years ago or something when he first hit the air with these big direct direct marketing commercials on TV for My Pillow. That was the whole concept. It's called My Pillow, and the most common photo is a picture of this guy hugging a big pillow, and so he's known as that guy, and he's kind of a pitch man for his invention, which is his company, and he's kind of built this company up out of nothing into a multi-million-dollar industry. It started out with one product and grew from there, but it's a very, very interesting story of his life if you've ever looked into it. But I'm not here to talk politics or any of the controversy surrounding Mike Lindell. What I wanted to talk about is how you can use the concepts of what he just put forth out for everybody to see. Now, he has never made any secret of the fact that he was a huge supporter of Donald Trump as he was running for president and so on and so forth. But that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm going to talk about is what his company ended up doing during this whole COVID-19 scare and epidemic and whatever you want to call it, pandemic. What he ended up doing was he ended up converting his company into the manufacturing end of it. Instead of producing a whole lot of pillows like they normally do and other items, he had them start focusing on creating masks for medical professionals. So doing all these specialty masks that they're needing anyways. And so he just converted all his factories over to it and has made quite a big deal about it. Well, he was already in communication with the president, so the president brought him out as an example of a business that is doing things to help out with this whole situation. So he was out there talking, and at the same time he's given kind of a pitch for the president at kind of an official thing. So it's kind of a campaign end of things. So that's where a lot of the controversy comes in. And the other piece of the controversy is that Mike Lindell is a very huge Christian. I mean, he always wears a nice big cross around his neck and all this stuff. I mean, he's not secret about his political views, his religious views, and made a very clear statement over a very highly religious statement at this press conference. So what this did is this set off a firestorm. People saying, how dare this guy? How dare this guy try and take advantage of this situation, try and bring up religion in a time like this, try and do that. Controversy from and then you got people defending him and saying, oh, he's a great American, and thank goodness, and now I'm going to go get a My Pillow and all this other stuff. So he automatically, though, look at what he did from a pure strategic vision. Okay, take apart if you think he's morally right or if he thinks he's morally right or anything. Just set that aside for a moment. Obviously that plays into it, but set it aside for a moment and just look at it strategically, what he was able to do, because the same thing could be created regardless of what your political beliefs are. You can create a similar thing. Regardless of whether you're morally right or not, but to be honest, you can create a similar situation if you can insert yourself into a news story. If you can make your company, you and yourself, part of the news, let alone the fact that he's already, for better or worse, made himself into a celebrity entrepreneur in the same way that Clint Arthur talks about, that we've talked about in previous episodes. But very similar to the way that Donald Trump had done previously. He's a celebrity entrepreneur. He literally has this kind of celebrity status and is a business owner at the same time, so he's profiting off of that celebrity. You can do the same thing purposefully, whether you wanted to or not. You can insert yourself in, you can find ways that you can enter into the conversation that people are already having. That puts you in the news. And here's the other element, the controversy that he brings up. A lot of people would say, oh my gosh, you're going to scare away half the country that way. No, no, no. What it does is it may push people away that would have never been interested in you to begin with, but it is going to draw so many people towards you. Then you push away that it cements you in their mind as their type of person. You know, whether it's a person that has heavy Christian views, whether it's a person that is a heavy Trump supporter, what have you, they are automatically going to be drawn toward you, your product, and anything else that you promote. Better or worse, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for you, or how you see it. It doesn't matter though, because human nature is human nature. Controversy, in a sense, when it comes to business, is your friend, because it has the ability. Yes, it will put people out against you, but the most of the time, in most cases, what you gain from it is so much greater, because you gain followers, you gain attention that you never would have had before, and there's more. It's more of a cementing of the relationship that you end up having. So, and I don't care who you are, you don't need to be the president's best friend, or have donated money to him, or get into a press conference with him or anybody else that may be president at the time that you're watching this. Okay, not necessary. What matters is that you have the ability to enter local news, you have the ability to enter the specific niche news within your industry. Just think about this. Think about how you can get involved. And it doesn't have to be with COVID-19. It doesn't have to be with this current situation. It's whatever the situation is, whatever the conversation is that's going on in your customer's head. How can you put yourself out there? And allows you to stand out apart from the crowd, allows you to be noticed, and to actually say what you believe, and maybe make an impact beyond just whatever you're gaining from it on the business side of things. So just a little thing to think about when you're looking at Mike Lindell out there. It's a really interesting story. He's worth looking up and hearing his travels into the business world, because it's quite interesting. We'll probably cover some of that in the future. Hey, tomorrow I had a very special note left for me a few days ago that I would like to show you, and show you what it has to do with your business and how it can help you. We're going to be back here tomorrow. In the meantime, go check out brianjpombo.com. brianjpombo.com/Amazon is the Amazon Proof Strategy session. That is something you could sign up for if you qualify. You can sign up for, and it would mean that you and I would sit down for 30 to 60 minutes and be able to have a little chat about your business, and see if we can draw out a plan in a very short period of time. Draw out a plan of how you can be completely competition proof. Hint, hint, what we were talking about today has a lot to do with it. So, see you tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.